So I wanted to make this video because when I speak to entrepreneurs and business owners, one thing that comes up a lot, one question that comes up a lot is, what should I do next? What's the next step? And when people ask that question, it's usually coming from a place of feeling pretty confused because of the number of options available. It's never because they don't know, they have like no choices and no options. It's usually just from an abundance of choice and a kind of pressure to do something, whether that pressure is like coming from outside, like it could be some financial pressure or like expectations, or you've got to grow because like your team is expecting growth, your suppliers demand growth of you, right? More often than not, it's internal pressure though. It's this vision that you have, and there's a frustration around the fact that the vision is not materializing in the way that you thought. So questions around what should I do next? Typically they're related to growth and the vision, or problems and what do I do about these problems? But it's still tied to the first one, right? It's to resolve the problems in order to get the growth and get the vision. And like I said, there's usually a lot of options available. People don't struggle because they don't have options. They struggle because they have too many. And what this causes is vulnerability. So because of the state of confusion people are in, I would argue they're now very vulnerable because they're looking to release themselves from that pain and that difficulty. And if you think about it, most of the offers that you'll encounter on the internet are to do with growth. They're to do with lessening pain, reaching this objective, right? Making more money, making more profits, 10xing, blah, blah, blah. This causes people to make choices which end up not being the best. So this is why you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to making the wrong decision. If you make the wrong decision, of course, there can be various fallouts depending on the severity of that choice. So you could waste a lot of time. And time is money, right? You could waste a lot of energy. You could make a decision that's actually catastrophic. And I'll tell you one that I did in a second that was catastrophic for sure. When you're in this vulnerable state, what should you do? Obviously get advice, but do it from a place of calm. I think you need to get rid of a lot. I think this is a place that you arrive at where less is more should be a kind of mantra for you. Less is more can be like applied to your options, right? So reduce those options, write down, but also like put less in your life right now and try to find focus. What should you focus on? Focus on the vision. What is it you're actually trying to achieve? I don't mean the vision like 10 years out or anything like that, although that's important to have kind of there, right? But the vision that I mean right now is like, what are we trying to optimize for at this particular stage of the business's growth? So we've got this far off goal, this vision, this sort of Polaris star, this endpoint. Hopefully you have that. If you don't, definitely get one because you need everything to align with that, right? But what's the kind of short-term thing I need to optimize for right now? Okay, let's unpack this a little bit. So we've said quite a bit so far. So you're pretty vulnerable. You've got a lot of choices. You're asking, what do I do next? I would ask you to say, what do I do next in light of what? Like, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to optimize for? Then take a less is more approach in everything. So get rid of stuff that's going on, clear space to think, and reduce down the number of options. You do that by optimizing for something, right? Again, optimize for something that is in line or a step towards the end goal that you're trying to optimize towards, as like the big picture vision, right? Do not engage with another opportunity until you've done this. So until you've evaluated where you are right now and where you want to be, do not pick anything. Now, I said at the beginning that you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to shiny objects. You're going to avoid doing something which is boring, which seems obvious, which seems like unexciting, uninspiring, and so on. This is why people take on more stuff now. And remember I said less is more. You want to do the opposite. People will start new things. They will explore new opportunities, new marketing strategies, new tactics. They'll take somebody on as a new staff member. They will employ somebody because they've got these great ideas, right? There's no shortage of ideas. There's no shortage of ideas on how to make money, but it's bloody difficult to actually make it, right? And there's always this mantra of it's very easy to spend money. It's very difficult to make money. So stop, pause, think about what you need to optimize for right now, and think about less is more, and look for things which are actually boring. Boring stuff is generally the stuff that isn't actually going to cost you anything, and is usually the thing that's screaming out for attention right now. That is the thing you need to do in order to reach the goal that you're currently optimizing for. And it will generally be something boring. How do you do this? What kind of rule can you apply to help you find the thing which you should be doing that you don't want to do, that's boring, but is actually going to be the thing that really moves the needle towards this goal that you've just set for yourself? The lens you need to look at this through is the 80-20 principle, in my opinion. So the Pareto principle is everywhere. So if you don't know what it is, look into it. It's a law of nature. So it's literally like gravity, and it's governing the way your business operates and the results that you get. And 80% of the traffic is on 20% of the roads. That's like a common analogy, right? That's what you see every day. Or 80% of the traffic occurs at 20% of the time of the day. Hence you get rush hours. So look at your business through the lens of 80-20. Okay, so some questions that you can be asking right now. What are the 20% of products, if you sell products, that gain 80% of my revenue? Or what are the 20% of my customers who generate 80% of my revenue? Or it could be, by the way, 90-10, it could be 30-70, anything like that. What is like 80% of, where is 80% of the revenue coming from in terms of like marketing activity? Maybe I run Google ads, maybe I do Facebook ads, maybe I do Instagram, maybe I do TikTok, maybe I do Pinterest, maybe I'm doing print advertising, radio, TV, whatever. Try and look at where is that coming from. Let's just camp out on this example for a second. We've got 80% of revenue coming from 20% of products. We've got 80% of revenue coming from 20% of marketing activity. Try and put 2 and 2 together. If I need more profit, if I'm trying to optimize for profit this season, or even if I'm trying to optimize for growth, you're going to need more profit. 80-20 forces you to remove a focus on efficiency, and it guides you to telling you exactly where you need to focus on in order to grow. Because if 80% of my marketing spend is wasted, it's a waste of time and energy, because it's only 20% of it is bringing 80% of my sales. I need to double down on that. Same with products. Like my next phase of business now might be, oh, here's an opportunity to create a new product line. Well, this customer said they would love this thing, and this one said they agreed with that, and they would love if we did that too. Okay, great, fine. But there's maybe a time and a season for research and development. Right now, it could be that the most important thing you need to optimize for to reach that 10-year goal, 5-year goal, is profit. Okay, and growth through profit, i.e. reinvesting profit to grow, being healthy, being lean, right? Being in a place where in 2-3 years' time, your costs are good, profits are high, and you can afford to take risks. You can afford to bet big on a new product or something like that. Right now, it could be, I need to camp out on this. I need to really maximize my sales of this one thing and do it really, really well. Why? Because then you get more people in on that thing for a much lower cost, right? Because your marketing is very focused. The more of that thing you sell, the more social proof you'll get, the more reviews you'll get, the more people will tell people about that thing. And then by the time you come to do research and development, maybe it's not that you launch a new product, because maybe this is the thing for you. This is where you need to focus. improve this product, right? Please everybody. Gosh, if you improve that product, guess what? You can also sell it to people that you sold it to 12 months ago. You don't even need new people at this point. This is kind of the power of 80/20. And to me, that's exciting. Like at the beginning, it's boring. But when you look at the breakthroughs that are possible for actually very little and without outlaying a lot of money, it's pretty damn exciting. So I'll end with, hopefully that will land and settle. And if you have any questions, let me know. But I'll end with this thought that I said was catastrophic for me, was that when I was trying to optimize for growth, I needed more profits. I need more revenue. And I felt that our cost per acquisition on the bags that we were selling was just way too high. And so I sought some cheaper bags with higher margins. What I did is I took on this new brand. I didn't know which of those bags would sell. I ended up buying loads of bags. I completely diluted the website. These bags turned out to be very poor quality. I had a lot of returns. It caused no end of problems. It reduced our reviews, and our customer service suffered because of all the return requests. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I'm making out, but it upset the apple cart. Up till now, everything was great. Product quality was great. Everyone was very happy. Now I had this huge influx of new stuff, where at the beginning, it was very clear these holdalls were selling the most. 80% of sales, holdalls. Optimize that. Instead, more products. Now more Google advertising, more Facebook advertising, trying to figure out how to get these new things to sell. Who would buy these new things with this great new profit margin? Complete waste of time, catastrophic for me. Instead, I should have focused and optimized on that one thing. So here endeth the lesson. If you're thinking, what do I do next? At least just recognize that you're vulnerable. Pull back. Less is more. Look at what's boring. Look at 80/20. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please, as always, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.